Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. Recently, in my morning email feed from the Daily Stoic, I read how Hadrian, the Emperor of Rome, only by observing, decided he could trust Antoninus with absolute power. After watching how Antoninus carefully and respectfully guided his old ailing father in law upstairs, unaware that Hadrian was watching, it was clear to Hadrian that this was a man of trustworthiness and integrity. It was a small moment, but a powerful glimpse into his character, reflected in the way he treated the elderly. The article went on to say, it says something about a person and about their society when the old are mistreated, when people who have served their country or a company are discarded after they've passed through their prime. And this is my favorite line. We are how we treat the vulnerable. We are how we treat people who can't do much for us anymore. We are who we take care of. Take a moment and think of those you know who give much of their time and life to aid those who are vulnerable. My first thought went to my sister Frida, about who I have shared with you before. She became our mom's full time caregiver 11 years ago and has devoted her life to gracefully taking care of mom. The renderings in the Daily Stoic are so true when you reflect on those who have shown such care and kindness toward the elderly. The essence of their character shines through their willingness and acts of selflessness. When I was a school counselor, the principal had banners put up in the lunchroom. One I particularly loved said, "Character is who you are when no one is watching." Hmm. The story of Antoninus and the banner on character reminds me of an old Jewish folk tale about two brothers who farmed together. Each of had his own granary, but one was married with many children and the other was single. The single brother thought to himself one day that it didn't seem fair that the grain was always divided evenly between the two of them, since his brother had many children to feed and he was the only one in his household. So he decided to take a sack of grain from his granary each evening and put it by his brother's granary. At the same time, his brother began thinking that it wasn't fair that his single brother got the same amount of grain as he, since he would not have the children to take care of him in his old age, and he himself had many children to take care of him. So he too decided to place a sack of grain by his brother's granary each evening. And that is what they did. It was surprising to each of them that even though they had removed one sack of grain each night, they had just as many in the morning. Well, one night the two brothers met between their barns when they were secretly trying to bring a sack of grain to the other's granary. They each understood the mystery when they met. They hugged and marveled at the love that they shared, doing good things for others even when no one was watching. My husband Donnie and I get such a kick out of the commercials on television for Progressive Insurance. If you haven't seen them, they depict an older man trying to teach young people how not to turn into their parents by always giving helpful suggestions to strangers, helping them at gas stations or in grocery stores with bits of information about items, grocery cart wheels that are loose, all sorts of things like that people don't ask for and they willingly offer just to be helpful. Are you recognizing yourself or someone you know? This week I was talking about those commercials with our friend Ross. He had watched them and said, "Oh, that is totally me." I admitted probably is me a bit too. In the commercials, the young people so eager to help others are supposed to seem ignorant of the fact that they may seem a bit obnoxious with their helpful suggestions. And maybe so, but they truly are sincere in wanting to help. That's the most important thing. Here's another tale. An old man in India sat outside his small village stirring dirt mixed with water in an old black pot. After many hours, he reached into the pot and pulled out a large gold nugget. This went on for many days. People would watch him stir as he sat and then wait for him to pull out the gold nugget. They were totally amazed. One day an audacious young man came up and asked the old man if he would show him the trick to making gold nuggets. The old man said, "Sure, it's not difficult. All I have is this old plain pot, a stirring stick, dirt, and water in the pot." Then you stir it. After a while, a lump of gold forms, and you just reach in and take it out. The young man found a pot, stick, some dirt, and a bit of water. Right away, he put them all together and started to stir. All day he stirred, checking now and then for the gold. He stirred the next day and into the evening, but found no gold in the pot. Finally, he went back to the old man. After describing the steps he followed, the old man thought and then said, I neglected to include one important detail. While you stir, you must never think about the gold. Hmm. True character doesn't keep checking for gold or making sure someone is watching. It is doing the kind, right thing just because it is the kind, right thing. Like tending the elderly and helping people when they need. Hmm. This week on your bathroom mirror, write, I will seek to be kind and to help the vulnerable, even when no one is watching. Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.